What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This is Decoding with Cody. Today is February 2nd, 2026, and this is a live stream. Thank you to everyone who's in the live stream chat. Please give that thumbs up. Let's get that sound check out of the way, and we'll get into the info. So, hope you guys are well today, as usual. And on top of that, we have a lot to cover today. Another Super Bowl decode. I'm pretty sure we're going to have at least another one or two Super Bowl decodes. I just, a lot of people right now are covering the Grammys. And to be honest with you, I have no interest in covering the Grammys, but a lot of other channels are doing that. So we will focus on the Super Bowl today. And then, like I said, maybe another one or two. But thank you for the thumbs up in the chat, Coffee Girl. Appreciate you. Hello to Betty. Hope you're doing well, Betty. Hello to XX. Hello to Royal Productions. Thank you to the 41 people in the chat so far. Don't forget to hit that like button if you like the stream, and that always helps the channel. So appreciate everyone doing that. Full Armor, hello to you. Hope you're doing well. And Jose, also hope you're doing well. So got 52 in here so far. Give it another minute. I like to kind of give just a little minute to get some people in here. Somebody back here had mentioned Patriot rockets. Definitely have to look more into that, because that's probably definitely something. Yeah, and Patriots has the word riots in it, of course. That's a common theme right now. Lots of riots going on. Or I don't know, protests. I guess you could call it protests, but I mean, definitely very similar. Yeah, so thank you guys for all the input, and don't forget to drop your anything that you guys see in the chat as we go through. That's always very important and helpful. Let me take myself off the screen here. Hunter says, was thinking about me and then pulled out my phone and saw you were live. They are coding me. Yeah, are you coding me? That's crazy. Crazy how that stuff works. But yeah, thanks for coming in. All right, so let's get into it. Oh, so somebody says, did I check my email? Yeah, so Fronto, I have not checked my email. I'm sorry. Forgot to check my email, but I will check it, and I will get back to you. You said a book, the Gematria book. Yeah. So I'm familiar with him. I'm not sure of his real name. I just know he goes by Migu in the chat usually, and he's a great decoder. He has his own channel, and I do know his book. I've read pretty much his whole book. But I appreciate you sending that over, because that is a very good book to read if you guys want to know all about the Golden Gate Bridge stuff. But yeah, so I appreciate you sending that over. And like I said, if you sent anything else, I'll definitely check my email. And I know some other people probably sent me something too. I'm sorry, guys. I got busy and just forgot to check. All right, so with that being said, again, let's get into the presentation. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of interesting. There's a lot of riddles, of course. Every Super Bowl that comes around, there's a lot of riddles, a lot of different themes to the game, right? It's a huge energy event. And so you're always having a lot of stuff. We know we live in a matrix of webs, woven webs. And the Super Bowl, being such a big event, is usually at a very center point of all these webs. And what I believe is one of the most important webs of this past year, well, that would be Charlie Kirk. So we have to talk about Charlie Kirk in connection to the Super Bowl. In fact, earlier this year or last year, when Charlie Kirk happened, we were trying to decide who might make the Super Bowl. And, well, I mentioned many times that I thought the Patriots were a very good choice for the Super Bowl. Of course, I was on the Colts for a while. which ended up being a switchover, with everything else. There's a lot of I'm not going to get into all that, but I was on the Colts, but the Patriots after the Charlie Kirk thing, I was really on the Patriots and maybe the Bears, like from Chicago, the Pope. But after we found out that the Seattle Seahawks were connected to the Pope, and the reason, of course, I was on Chicago is because Chicago is where the Pope is from. Chicago is where Charlie Kirk is from. So I figured Chicago seemed like the very likely choice for a possible Super Bowl. But instead, we got the Seahawks, who are, of course, in my other streams I showed, the Seahawks are connected to the Pope. Okay. Every time a new Pope is elected, the Seahawks make the Super Bowl. So essentially, we get the Chicago thing, kind of gets fallen out, but we still have the Charlie Kirk, okay, connection to the Super Bowl. And again, we'll go over all that, but I just kind of wanted to give an overview of all the things we've kind of talked about with Charlie Kirk. And remember, this was such a big event, guys. Charlie Kirk, such a big event in the Matrix. And, he may not even be gone. Who knows what actually happened that day? But we will dig into this now. So thank you guys for being here. So the first and most obvious thing that we have to talk about is the White House posting and all the posts. There were so many posts by different people saying that Charlie Kirk was a patriot. Okay, I just used a few here. I just took this one from the White House, and it says President Donald J. Trump signs a proclamation honoring the memory of Charlie Kirk, a champion of liberty and an American patriot. Okay, so there's the patriot. And if you guys want to just go look, you'll see many people posted calling him a patriot, right? And but another big thing that happened was Fox Nation, of course, from the Fox News channel, they gave out their Patriot Awards. And of course, one of those awards was given to Charlie Kirk's widow, supposed widow, Erica Kirk, who in this video, her eyes are always strange, right? She's got those snake eyes. Of course, if you guys missed all the snake eye stuff, you must be way behind, because I'm assuming most of you guys have seen that by now. So yeah, Charlie Kirk and her Erica Kirk and her snake eyes. And but yeah, she received the Patriot Award for Charlie Kirk. And like I said, many other people were calling Charlie Kirk a patriot. Okay. So, but a lot of people I don't think a lot of people know, and I kind of forgot this, but Charlie Kirk was shot one day on September 10th, one day before 9/11, of course. And 9/11 is known as Patriot Day. And of course, Charlie Kirk's shooter was captured on Patriot Day on 9/11, okay? 33 hours later, right? The big 33. But yeah, what an interesting connection that I kind of forgot about. Patriot Day is literally 9/11. And again, he was shot right before. And remember, after the actual 9/11 event of 2001, the Patriots from the NFL became one of the best teams, okay? For years, right? There was a dynasty right after 9/11 2001, the Patriots became a dynasty. And so again, 9/11 super connected to the Patriot Act, the Patriots, and Charlie Kirk, right? And so again, we've got this theme, right? We got the Patriot theme. We've got Erica Kirk receiving the Patriot Award, right? Yeah, the Twin Towers stood for 33 years. Thank you, Agent 9/11. Thanks for adding that in there. There's a lot of 33s, of course, always. But yeah, one day before Patriot Day, okay? Now, let's go into the gematria and the dates, okay? Because Charlie Kirk, it's so obvious that this Super Bowl is, it's right in there. It's right in your face, okay? So the Super Bowl is going to be featuring two quarterbacks, one from the Patriots and one from the Seahawks, and their numbers are 10-14, okay? And we've talked about this already, but this is definitely has to be part of the decode, even though I've already talked about it. But 10-14 is the birthday of Charlie Kirk, guys. Again, he was honored on 10/14 by Donald Trump also. And this is going to be so 10/14 are going to be playing each other in the Super Bowl. And of course, this is Super Bowl 60. And 60 is the gematria of Charlie Kirk. So not only is his birthday 10/14, but his gematria, Charlie Kirk, is 60. So that's the Super Bowl. Now, I mentioned this in my other streams when I was talking about Elvis, but this we're going to focus on the Charlie Kirk connection to this. So check this out, guys. Are you coding me? Charlie Kirk is born on 10/14, like the two quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. And he was born in 1993. Okay. So let me just read this paragraph. Pat the Patriot is the mascot of the New England Patriots of the National Football League. He is depicted as a soldier of the American Revolution. The logo version of Pat wears a tricorn hat and a Continental Army uniform. This was the Patriots' official insignia until 1993, when it was replaced by the current logo, which is known as the Flying Elvis. So the joke here is Charlie Kirk is born on 10/14/1993. That just happens to be the year that they quit using the logo Pat the Patriot. And guys, look at the gematria of Pat the Patriot. It's 10/14 in Sumerian. So not only did they stop using this logo in 1993, like Charlie Kirk's birth year, the name of the logo, Pat the Patriot, equals his birthday, 10/14, which is the numbers of the two quarterbacks in the Super Bowl, okay? It doesn't get any more clear and clear-cut than that, okay? It doesn't get any more clear than that, okay? The year 1993 being the year that they ended this logo. And again, I've already made the connection about Charlie Kirk and the Patriot connection, right? So that's this right here. This slide is pretty obvious, right? I don't see, it's just pretty clear. But also, let's look at the gematria of not only Pat the Patriot, but the team that's playing the Patriots is the Seattle Seahawks. And check out the gematria of Seattle Seahawks. It also just happens to equal 10/14. Now, the quarterback who's playing the Patriots, that's a good one. Fading the Public just wrote in the chat, Pat the Patriot equals 674, like Ripple XRP equals 674. I just talked about Ripple XRP in my last decode, so I'm going to have to look into that one. The XRP ledger equals 674 in Latin. Wow, I mean, this isn't an XRP decode, but you just put some great additions in there. But back to this for now. Okay, so Sam Darnold, the quarterback for the Seahawks, he equals 10/14 in reverse Sumerian, and the team he plays for, again, the Seattle Seahawks, equals 10/14. And again, this is the two numbers of the quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. Now, Charlie Kirk's funeral, or if you want to call that a funeral, it looked more like a celebration or a big advertisement. But you guys remember this, Charlie Kirk's wife and Donald Trump being out there, you know. But look at this. So from the day of his funeral, supposed funeral, whatever you want to call it, to the Super Bowl is 141 days. So in most of the world, the date 10/14, like Charlie Kirk's birthday, is actually written 14/10, which in numerology is like the number 141. So that means that Charlie Kirk's funeral was 141 days, like the date 10/14 or 14/10, before the Super Bowl, where you will have number 14 and 10 playing, okay? Now, also, this day was an important day because it was also a solar eclipse. So as you see here, there was a solar eclipse also on Charlie Kirk's funeral, and we know how big these eclipses are with huge rituals. And so 141 days later is the Super Bowl. Now, I will say that World War III equals 141. And I talked about the horse Seattle Slew, which You guys will have to go back and watch my other streams for that, but Seattle slew equals 141. So there's something interesting there with the 141s. So check this out. If you go from Charlie Kirk's death, supposed death, to the Super Bowl, it's 151 days. And in gematria, the Patriots equals 151, okay? Let me just go and also show you another 151. Another 151 is revolution. All right, and again, the American Patriot logo is based off of the Revolution Minutemen, okay? So 151 days after the Charlie Kirk's death, you have the Super Bowl, which is the gematria of revolution, which is again the gematria of the Patriots. In fact, notice how the Patriots and revolution also have a multiple cipher match. It's almost a it's almost a 3 out of 4 cipher match. But again, 151 days from his death to the Patriots being in the Super Bowl, which is the gematria, okay? But not only that, if you take away the, and again, the is an important word in English because it equals 33. So adding the word the is not an unrealistic and a cheating way to do things. It is a true way to add the 33 to the word, okay? Because the equals 33. But anyway, if you don't add the word the Patriots and you just say Patriots, the Super Bowl will be 118 days after Charlie Kirk's 10/14 birthday, which again is the gematria of Patriots. And again, his birthday is coded into the numbers of the quarterbacks 10/14. Okay. Please hit those like buttons, guys. If you guys are enjoying the content, I appreciate that always. But yeah, what are the odds? You know, from his death and his birthday, you have a connection to the Patriots and Patriots perfectly. Okay. But how about this? Let's just use basic, simple gematria. And you'll see that in reverse gematria, New England Patriots equals 269. Charles James Kirk, 269. So, I mean, if you thought that was just, crazy, well, what are the odds that his full name equals New England Patriots? All right. It's just, I mean, I know it's only in one cipher, but still, I mean, what are the odds of that? Considering all the stuff I've already showed with him being called a Patriot, him or his wife receiving the Patriot Award. He died one day before Patriot Day. He's going to be his birthday is encoded into the Patriots and Seahawks Super Bowl. He was born the same year that Pat the Patriot was gotten rid of as the mascot for the Patriots. And again, what are the odds that his name equals New England Patriots? So, I mean, this was the clue all along. And like I said many times last year, I thought the Patriots were a very good choice to go to the Super Bowl because it was the Charlie Kirk thing, okay? It was all about the Charlie Kirk thing. Yes, Jesus Christ equals 151. Yep. Again, we could talk about a Jesus Christ riddle. There's always something to say with that. But yeah, the 151 is also Jesus Christ, which we talked about last month during Conor McGregor making his gematria post 151 days. He got married 151 days after his birthday, and he was posting about Jesus Christ and how Conor McGregor equals 151 like Jesus Christ. Here's another interesting fact. Charlie Kirk was born 33 years, 333 days after the Patriots were founded. And we know how important the 33 code is. So is it a coincidence that this Patriot, supposed Patriot, Charlie Kirk, just happens to be born 33 years and 333 days after the Patriots? Think about it. His killer was caught 33 hours later. Police equals 33, okay, in gematria. Yes, the Great Reset equals 151. Going back, everyone keeps talking about the 151 in the chat, but yeah, the Great Reset equals 151. So yeah, I mean, what are the odds? I mean, are you coding me? This is definitely doesn't seem to be a coincidence. But how about this? Not only is the Super Bowl connected to the Patriots, right? But look at the word patriotism, right? Which is a form of, it's what you are. It's basically what is that's the form of patriotism, right? But check this out. The Super Bowl is called Super Bowl LX. And it just so happens that Super Bowl LX is a 2 out of 4 cipher match to patriotism. So just another layer of something that I haven't seen anyone else show so far. But again, what are the odds? Now, we're getting into the meat of the presentation now, folks. If you guys are going to hit the like buttons, I hope it's for this. So look at this. This is where I might start getting a little excited. I mean, not for this, but just in general, you know how I am. So look at this. The owner of the Patriots is Robert Kraft. Okay, he's born on June 5th. Okay, 1941. The quarterback of the team who his team's going to be playing in the Super Bowl is Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold is also born on June 5th. So this is a bit interesting, guys. We have a quarterback born on June 5th. We have the owner of the opposite team born on June 5th. But check this out. In the middle of those two guys, 51 years after Robert Kraft and 5 years before Sam Darnold, there was a movie that came out called Patriot Games on June 5th, the same day. Are you coding me, guys? Are you coding me? Like, June 5th is the date of the Patriot Games movie, and the owner of the Patriots is born June 5th, and the guy who's playing the Patriots in the Super Bowl is born June 5th. Now, we got even one more layer to add to this, because look at the date of Charlie Kirk founding his company, Turning Point USA. June 5th. Are you coding me? All of these things are June 5th. This is a true riddle right here. This is undeniable. It means that things are being planned years ahead of time. It means that this is undeniable. Okay, we don't need gematria here. All you need to see is that all of these people connected to this in this movie have the same birthday, essentially. Now, this brings us back to the assassination riddle. Let me see if you guys in the chat are really, really on your A game today. What is something super important that happened on June 5th? Can anyone in the chat? The Truman Show released on June 5th. Somebody just said, wow, that's a great connection. But I'm not talking about the Truman Show. I'm looking for another event, an event that is similar to Charlie Kirk's event. Does anyone in the chat know? Let's see. I'll wait a minute. What is another event on June 5th? Probably an even bigger. I mean, it's clearly a huge event. You guys should know it. I think somebody knows it. I'm waiting. There's 219 people, and I'm just trying to see if anyone in the chat is on their A game today. Was Travion Martin June 5th as well? I'll have to look at that as well. Derek just did a decode on him. Yes, somebody got it. Kennedy. Robert F. Kennedy. Let me pull up this person's comments so they can get the recognition. So Denora said Kennedy. Yes, Robert Kennedy was shot on June 5th, guys. All right, so here we go again. We're coming full circle here. Thank you, Denora, for that, for being on your A game. So, okay, so let's rehash this one more time. Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, born June 5th. The Patriot Games came out on June 5th. Sam Darnold, who's playing the Patriots in the Super Bowl, born on June 5th. And Charlie Kirk founded his company on June 5th, and Robert F. Kennedy was you-know-whatted on June 5th. Now, here's what's interesting, okay? So Robert F. Kennedy was supposedly gotten rid of on June 5th, 1968 by a 24-year-old man named Sirhan Sirhan, okay? And so a 24-year-old man got rid of RFK, supposedly, right? So it was 24 years later. So again, remember the 24-year-old Sirhan Sirhan, he took out RFK 24 years before the Patriot Games movie came out. Exactly 24 years, okay? This 24 years before this movie came out was the 24-year-old taking out RFK. Is that a coincidence? I mean, just think about that. 24-year-old Sirhan, right? He was 24 at the time. He's not 24 anymore. He's still alive, actually, which is interesting. He's still alive. But yeah, he was 24 years old, and 24 years later, they released the movie Patriot Games. So again, Patriot Games features Harrison Ford. Now, this is another connection. So Lincoln was shot in Ford's theater, of course, and JFK was shot in a Ford Lincoln. Harrison Ford. Now, what day was Trump shot? Supposedly. He was shot on Harrison Ford's birthday. Are you kidding me? Are you coding me? Shout out to the Illusion who's in the chat. Make sure you guys go over and subscribe to the Illusion and give him some likes and love over there. But remember, Harrison Ford's birthday is what day? July 13th. Now, who was shot on July 13th? Trump. All right, so this movie, Patriot Games, connects us to RFK because it was on the anniversary of RFK that it came out. It connects us to Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk founded his company on June 5th, which is the same day. It connects us to the Patriots because, again, the owner of the Patriots is born on June 5th. And it connects us to Donald Trump because Donald Trump was shot on Harrison Ford's birthday. It also connects us to Lincoln because Lincoln was shot in the Ford's theater. And again, JFK shot in a Ford Lincoln. So all of this is connected. All these big events are connected, obviously, to this movie. And again, that's why it's important that it was the 24-year-old assassin, and it was 24 years later that they released that movie from the RFK incident. So again, that's from June 5th, 1968 to June 5th, 1992, which was again the release of this movie. Okay. Now check this out. Let's go back again to the first slide. So it was 51 years from Robert Kraft to Patriot Games. It was 5 years from Patriot Games to Sam Darnold, and it was 15 years from Sam Darnold to Charlie Kirk's company. So do you guys see a pattern here? Do you guys see a lot of 5s and 1s? You guys see that, right? Well, I already talked about the 151, right? I talked about how the Patriots equals 151, and it was 151 days from Charlie Kirk's death to the Super Bowl. But now you're seeing a lot of 5-1s. 51 years between these two, 5 between these, and 15 between these. So what's up with that fully? I don't fully grasp. The Illuminati was, of course, founded on 5-1 or 1-5. So that's could be an Illuminati code, of course. That's also May Day. Wait, guys, that's May Day. Drake May. Drake May is the Patriots quarterback. May Day. Hold on. Hold on. See, sometimes when you're doing live streams, you have an epiphany. And May Day is 5-1 or 1-5. Okay? I didn't say Seattle was losing. Gosh, Markle. Again, people seem to jump to conclusions here. What's more important here is the information, not who wins or loses. This is coded for both people to win. Look at this. Robert Kraft has the birthday of Charlie Kirk's company, and so does the Seahawks quarterback. So it's double coded, folks. It's always double coded. I'm not even picking a winner right now. I'm just showing you the clear connections to all this. So please don't jump to conclusions that I'm picking a winner, because that's not what I'm saying. I still don't know, but I'm leaning towards the Patriots. Yes, only by a slight margin. But to me, it doesn't matter, man. I'm not betting on this, first of all. Secondly, it's double coded. Okay. So, but important point here is that the quarterback for the Patriots is Drake May, and May Day is 5-1 or 1-5. Okay. And again, Drake May. So is something going to go down on 5-1? Remember, the Illuminati founded on 5-1 or 1-5. And there has to be something with this May thing, okay? And maybe that's it. Maybe that's part of it. But anyway, this is just going off of all this right here with the 51 years between Robert Kraft and the movie, and then 5 years between the movie and Sam Darnold, and 15 years between Darnold and Turning Point. And again, hold on. How many years was it between? Let me just look. So Robert Kraft to the RFK assassination, 27 years. So 27 years between the owner of the Patriots and the death of RFK. So that's ritual. 27 is the gematria of ritual. But yeah, 27 is also a huge number, really. I mean, it's 9 times 9 plus 9 plus 9. So it's the third cube, which is, so that's 27. There's something to that, of course, I think. If anyone has any more 27s I might be missing, don't hesitate to drop those in there. But anyway, let's keep going. So here's a big connection, okay? From the Patriot Games movie to the birth of Sam Darnold, again, they have the same birthday essentially. I didn't really mean to put born here because the movie wasn't born; it was released. So sorry for that typo, but it's exactly 60 months from the Patriot Games, which is exactly 5 years, of course, to Sam Darnold. And again, this is Super Bowl 60. And this is all about Charlie Kirk, which equals 60. Well, I mean, again, what are the odds? This is the huge number, guys. Donald Trump was elected in the 60th election. Charlie Kirk equals 60. We're coming up on Super Bowl 60. And it was exactly 60 months from Patriot Games to Sam Darnold. Darnold, you guys get it? Darnold, Donald, okay? It's pretty clear. But not only that, the guy on the front of the movie is Harrison Ford, and Donald Trump was shot on Harrison Ford's birthday, exactly 60 days later, 1 year and 60 days later, actually. But from the 2025 birthday of Harrison Ford and the 1 year anniversary of Trump's shooting, it was 60 days to Charlie Kirk's shooting, okay? Again, Donald Trump, 60. Charlie Kirk, 60. This is Super Bowl 60. So this number is coded into this Super Bowl because this is the 60th Super Bowl. 60 minutes. Yeah, Dr. Savage in the chat. 60 minutes is on the clock, right? We've talked about this before. 60 is a time reference. 60 minutes in an hour, okay? But yeah, what are the odds? How all these events are connected, and it's all connecting to the 60. So remember, I said I'm going to talk a little bit more about the 51, But what if I told you? So we're talking about the movie Patriot Games that came out in 1992. But what if I told you that on December 18th, 2025, Donald Trump actually came out? Let me just find this article. Donald Trump Patriot Games. So here's the CNN article from last year on December 19th. Trump announces Patriot Games, a youth athletic competition celebrating United States' 250th birthday. Are you kidding me? So if you guys think I'm crazy for bringing in this Patriot Games thing from this movie back in 1992 into this, it was just last year on December 19th, which is interesting. Or it was actually on December 18th, but the news was in the news on December 19th, which is Donnie Darko's birthday, Jake Gyllenhaal. But Trump actually came out and announced a Patriot Games, and who was he alongside in his announcement? President Donald Trump announced Thursday that the White House will host Patriot Games, a competition with young athletes from across the country as part of the celebration of the United States' 250th anniversary. In the fall, we will host the first ever Patriot Games, an unprecedented 4-day athletic event featuring the greatest high school athletes. Democrats have mocked the athletic competition online, comparing it to the Hunger Games. Interesting. But look at this. Trump previously previewed the competition in July, saying at the time it would be televised and led by Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy. So here we go, guys. This was alongside Robert F. Kennedy, who was shot on June 5th. And again, who was born on June 5th? The Patriots owner. When did the Patriots game movie come out? June 5th. When was the quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks born? June 5th. And when did Charlie Kirk found Turning Point USA? June 5th. Okay. So the fact that Robert F. Kennedy's son is coming out with these Patriot Games with Donald Trump is just laughable, okay? Because his father has the same death date essentially as the Patriot Game movie. So why do you think they chose, why is Robert Kennedy even involved in this? Well, it's obviously to pay tribute and to be a history lesson. Again, it's a history lesson. And look at this. Donald Trump wants to hold these Patriot Games on his birthday, on Flag Day, right? His birthday is also Flag Day. But yeah, I mean, the 250th anniversary of the United States is also interesting. Of course, that's a little ways away now. It's all the way in July, but again, this is definitely a big part of the riddle. So let's keep going. Again, considering that Trump wants to hold the Patriot Games and this UFC fight on his birthday next year, take a look how old the Patriot Games movie was when Donald Trump announced this. It was 33 years, 6 months, and 14 days on the day he announced the Patriot Games. Are you coding me? Because that's Donald Trump's birthday, 6/14, and that's the year 33. And we know how big the 33 is. So what a perfect little homage to his birthday that he announced this 33 years and 6 months and 14 days after the Patriot Games movie. Now, he also announced this. There's 51 days between his announcement and the Super Bowl. And again, what was the number that kept coming up with these events here? 51 years between Patriots owner and Patriot Games. Trump, there was 51 days between his announcement of the Patriot Games and the Super Bowl. Patriot Games movie. I should look into see what Super Bowl 51 was. Hold on a second. This is probably something I should have looked at. Super Bowl, because all these 51s cannot be a coincidence. Oh, look who was it. Am I right? Is this 51? Yeah. Look who was in Super Bowl 51, guys. And look who won Super Bowl 51. I didn't even look at that because I didn't have time. Before I got the stream out, I didn't have time to even think about looking at that. And Super Bowl 51 was the Patriots who won. So now it makes even more sense why we got the 51 years between Robert Kraft and the movie. And then, again, the 5 years between the movie and Sam Darnold, and the 15 years between Darnold and Turning Point, which is a reverse 51, okay? Look at this. I got 233 in the chat, which is the 51st prime number. Guys, 233 in the chat. Look. 233 is the 51st prime number. It doesn't say that now. It says 247 now, but I just had 233. Anyways, just another funny coincidence. And it's funny because my next slide is going to be about the number 233. Look at this. From the actual release date of the Patriot games to the Super Bowl is 12,301 days. And if you break that down using prime numbers, you get to the number 51. Are you coding me? From the Patriot games to the Super Bowl, guys. 12,301 is the 1,471st prime number. 1,471 is the 233rd prime number. And 233 is the 51st prime number, which means if you break it down, you get to the 51. And again, how many years before the Patriot games was the Patriots owner born? 51. And what is the gematria of the quarterback for the New England Patriots right now? His name is Drake Lee May, which equals 51. And May Day again is 5-1. Drake May. This goes back to what we said earlier. May Day is 5-1. And the full name of the Patriots quarterback, Drake Lee May, equals 51. So, I mean, just tell me how this is a coincidence, folks. I mean, from the movie that came out on the 51st birthday of the owner to the Super Bowl breaks down to the number 51, whose quarterback is Drake Lee May, who equals 51, and May Day is on 5-1, which is the Illuminati founding date. Now, in the chat, the Illusion says the 51s go against New England in his research. He's saying that the 51s go against New England. So that's interesting. But this slide right here is mind-blowing, okay? It's mind-blowing, especially with the May Day connection, and especially now that we know that the New England Patriots won Super Bowl 51. Okay? So if you put all that together, that is mind-blowing. Super Bowl 51. Guys, this was in Houston, Texas. I believe Houston was founded on June 5th. Guys, look at that. Incorporated on June 5th, the Super Bowl of 51, the Patriots won, was incorporated on June 5th. Are you coding me? I started this whole thing going back to the date June 5th. This date. So that Super Bowl was in that Houston, who was incorporated on that day. So now we know that this date is obviously important, okay? There is no doubt in my mind. Anyway, I sometimes at a loss for words. because that's wild. I'm glad I thought to look at that during the live stream and I didn't miss that, because this brings it all together. Please hit that like button, guys. 246 people watching this stuff come together, and I hope it's worth at least 200 likes. But yeah, like, thank you guys who have hit the like button. All these things happened on June 5th, and they're all connected somehow with this 51. Don't the Houston Texans equal 51? Am I tripping? Yeah, Houston Texans equals 51. That's the name of the football team from Houston. So, yikes. So they played in Houston Texans Stadium for Super Bowl 51. The Patriots won. And again, Patriot games came out 51 years after the Patriots owner was founded or was born. And then they won 51. Trump announced the Patriot games 51 days before the Super Bowl. And if you go from the movie to the Super Bowl, it breaks down to the number 51. Again, I think I've hit my mic drop moment. I've only got one more slide here. Michael equals 51. Thank you. Because I connected this whole thing to Michael. We got 2 Michaels in the Super Bowl coaching. Michael, this is all going back to Michael the Archangel, guys. Michael, we got 2 Michaels. Michael Vrabel and Michael McDonald. So this is obviously double coded. You got 2 Michaels. You got a quarterback for the one team who's born on June 5th, and you got the owner from the other team who's born on June 5th. But yeah, great addition with that Michael thing. If you guys missed my whole decode on the Archangel Michael and how it's connected to this Super Bowl, you got to go back and watch that. Yeah, maybe it has something to do with the 51st state. Is Puerto Rico the 51st state? I don't think that's actually official, is it? That's not actually official. 51st state. I mean, I know it's not I've never seen anything of that happening. I mean, it's been talked about that it's the 51st state. Of course, Bad Bunny is the Super Bowl performer, and he's from Puerto Rico. So you could say, in a way, it's like the 51st state. That's probably, yeah. And then Trump wants to make Canada the 51st state, and check out how Canada equals the reverse of 51, 15. Look at Canada equals Michael. So Canada has a 2-cipher match to Michael. Also, the word Mars, we're talking about Mars, okay? So there could be a Mars riddle here. War. Think about the Revolutionary War. Think about all the Mars stuff I've talked about over the years. But Mars is a good candidate for this 51 and 15 rituals, because Mars equals 51 and 15. But also the moon equals 51 and 15. And, so these 2 planetary bodies, supposed planetary bodies, have that 51-15 connection. But just going away from that now for a minute, let's just hit this last slide and then I'll get into the chat. But so check this out. From Turning Point USA being founded on June 5th, 2012 to the Super Bowl is 4996 days. Well, that's interesting, because from the movie Patriot games to Charlie Kirk's birth was 496 days. It's kind of the same number. You guys see what I'm getting at there? But 496 is a very perfect number. Why? Because 496 is a perfect number. It's the 3rd perfect number. So I just thought that was interesting. That, from the turning point to the Super Bowl is 4996. And from the movie to Charlie Kirk's birth, 496. Okay, which again is a perfect number. Yeah, somebody's mentioning Area 51. Could be a whole riddle with Area 51. And guys, there's a lot more. This isn't even as deep as I could have went. I know there's way more. But it's clear that this 51 is a big part of this. As soon as I started looking into it, I knew that the 51 was somehow significant. And now it's even more, it's more clear, right? It's the May Day connection, Drake May, the Illuminati. Yeah, I mean, let's just go from the Illuminati, May 1st, 1776. Let's just see. So, because remember, Trump wants to install the Patriot games for the 250th birthday of the United States. Oh, folks, look at this. The Illuminati, first of all, just to go back on that last point. Yeah, I don't like that at all with again, I'm not making a pick in this decode right now. I don't like that at all for the Patriots, the 6-6 in Super Bowls thing. That's a big thing going against them. But look at this. From the founding of the Illuminati, the actual day, May 1st, 1776, to the Super Bowl, 91,229 days. That's a prime number. That's the 8822 prime. Guys, what is that? What is that? That's Trump's dialing code. Are you kidding me? From the Illuminati being founded to the Super Bowl, it breaks down to Trump's dialing code, 8822. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? His dialing code is 88022. I know you guys know this, right? 88022. Okay. And again, that's really crazy. Because again, the amount of days between the Illuminati and the Super Bowl, it takes us back to that. And again, going back to the 250 years, Trump wants to do the Patriot games to celebrate the 250th year of the United States. And the Illuminati will tune 250 years old on May 1st. Right? The Illuminati, 250 years old. Trump wants to celebrate the Patriot games with the 250 years. So May 1st is May Day. Again, I believe that this is something going to happen on May 1st this year. I mean, even May equals 15. But notice how May equals Drake. Drake also equals 33. But May Day, let's see what that equals. Oh, May Day. Interesting. 69. But yeah, I mean, maybe there's something to that. I don't know if that's like, let's see how many days May Day is after Charlie Kirk was shot. Something with Trump's plane again, maybe on May Day. Guys, it's 200. No way. No way. It's 233 days from Charlie Kirk's assassination to May Day. Again, 233 is the 51st prime number. Like what I've been talking about. Are you coding me? I didn't even know that, guys. I just wanted to see. And I had no idea it was going to be the 51 again. So 233 days after his assassination is May Day, 5/1, 233, the 51st prime. So there you go. I mean, if again, I don't know what else I need to say now. I mean, I've connected so many crazy things with this 51. So we got to be watching out for May Day this year, apparently. I think we really got to be watching out for May Day this year. It seems like it's coded into this. It just really seems like that. Let's see how many days May Day is after Charlie Kirk's birthday. It's 199 days after Charlie Kirk's birthday. Let's see how many days it is after the Super Bowl. 82 days. Guys, 82 is New England Patriots. New England Patriots, 82. So 82 days, and the date is 8/2, right? In most of the world, the Super Bowl date is 8/2. New England Patriots, 82. 82 days later to May Day, right? Like Drake May is the quarterback of the Patriots. Could also say it's 2 months and 23 days. That's your skull and bones. Could also say it's 11 weeks and 5 days, which is Trump's. That's the day that Trump was in election number 60. Anyway, that's interesting. So yeah, May Day is officially, you guys heard it here first. May Day is officially on the lookout for this year because it seems like it's connected to this whole Super Bowl. And I just can't overlook what we just found here on the live stream. Just can't overlook. Anyway, let me get into the chat. We're at 57 minutes in. Thanks for the illusion for being here, by the way. And thanks to all the great decoders. Yes, Seattle equals 82. So does New England Patriots, as I just showed you. See, it's double coded, guys. Yeah, New England Patriots equals 217. The Weapons movie last year was 217. It was about the number 217. Big money is on the Seahawks. Is that true? Because honestly, guys, I think these things are coded in a way that wherever the money goes, that's where they go the opposite. Not always, of course, but I don't know. I think in a way, guys, I think everything is already destined to happen the way it's supposed to, regardless of all that. So John Fitzgerald Kennedy equals 233. Thank you. Wow, that's a big one. Thank you for. So there, look at that, guys. I was talking all about the 51. I totally missed the fact that John Fitzgerald Kennedy equals 233. Again, the 51st prime number. So this 51 continually coming back to us. And another interesting thing about John Fitzgerald Kennedy, it equals Charles James Kirk. It equals Turning Point USA Inc., which is his company, 107. Of course, shooting equals 107. That's a huge number. 107 is the 28th prime, like the Super Bowl's on 28. But yeah, even John F. Kennedy, his name has that 51 connection with the 233. So thank you for that. Yeah, there's that theory that JFK became Jimmy Carter, right? Yep. Stephen King is also a riddle. His birthday is 9/21. Stephen King is from New England. Huh. Yeah, because, guys, they had Charlie Kirk's birthday or funeral on Stephen King's birthday. And Stephen King, the Charlie Kirk stuff was all connected to the King, okay? King Charles, Charlie, right? The quarterback for the Patriots, Drake May, he went to Charlotte. And how many times did I talk about Charlotte? Again, look at this. He went to Charlotte High School. Charlotte is a form of Charles. So again, this is a bit scary for the Patriots. I mean, Charles got taken out, right? So this guy's from Charlotte, which is the feminine form of Charles. This is exactly why, you know, you guys raise your hand in the chat if you guys heard me talk about Charles and Charlotte and Charlie and Carlos and the Charles theme throughout the whole last year. And this is just another continuation of that. I got 233 in the chat now. Just keep saying 233. What a joke. It just happens every stream, guys. This happens every stream. I still have, now it changed. As soon as I point it out, it always changes. But I'm just sitting here looking at it, and it stays on 233, again, which is the 51st prime. But yeah, Stephen King, his birthday was the day of the... Yeah, and Stephen King is from Maine, which technically you could say is part of that same area. Look at this. Again, this is just so crazy. Stephen King's dad's name was Donald King. Are you kidding me? Always goes back to Donald, right? I mean, if there's one name that's bigger than Charles at this point, it's probably Donald. His father's name was Donald Edwin King. Oy, oy. So yeah, I mean, Donald King. No King's Day was on Trump's birthday last year. Again, guys, how many times have I talked about the King stuff? Elvis is the king, right? We talked about Elvis already with the Super Bowl. We've talked about King Charles so many times. Talked about Donald Trump and his connections to the king. We talked about how King James, the King James Bible is named after King James, who, of course, his name is James Charles Stewart. And, of course, that's the same name, essentially, as Charlie Kirk, whose name is Charles James. Right? And I showed already this many times. James Charles Stewart equals 60. Like Charlie Kirk. And again, this is Super Bowl 60, so just more 60s. Sorry, guys. I think I got the hiccups. I'm sorry if I might have to end this abruptly if I end up getting the hiccups. But yeah, Charlie Kirk equals the full name of King James. Just go back and watch my videos from last year if you want to know all about that. And again, 60 months is 5 years. Patriot games to Sam Darnold is exactly 60 months or 5 years. All right, sorry I'm missing some chats. Let's break down another thing that happened last few nights ago that I haven't touched on. I tried to release a separate video on this, but let's just cover it really fast. I hope you guys are okay with this. We're gonna leave the Charlie Kirk thing for just a second here, and then the Patriots thing. The WWE was in Saudi Arabia on January 31st, and Trump and the guy who won the Royal Rumble, again, King stuff, Roman Reigns. And raise your hand in the chat. How many times have I talked about Roman Reigns on this channel, folks? Let me remove this comment. How many times have I talked about Roman Reigns, the wrestler who's named after Rome reigning? And again, Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble as Donald Trump is turning 985 lunar phases. Okay, what is that? That's a lunar phase from new moon to new moon. Ever since that's a lunar phase, right? He's turned 985. That's the gematria of Jesus, okay? We're in lunation 1275 right now. That's Jesus Christ in gematria. Now, look at this. Roman reigns in Fibonacci 985. Okay, he wins this right before Trump turns 985 lunar phases. Roman Reigns lost his championship to Cody Rhodes, which again is all connected to me organically. But anyway, Roman Reigns is coming back, guys. And remember, who was the champion during most of the COVID? It was Roman Reigns. But remember, when Roman Reigns had his championship reign, it was 1316 days. The gematria of Jesus Christ is 1316. And he started his reign on August 30th, 2020. Well, whose birthday is August 30th? Drake May. The quarterback for the Patriots is born August 30th. King Charles' wife also died on August 30th. You guys know what I'm talking about, Princess Diana. But August 30th is the birthday of New England. Now, back in 2016, the Patriots and the Seahawks were in the Super Bowl. '16 Super Bowl. Well, sorry, 2015. My bad. So the 2015 Super Bowl was the Seahawks and the Patriots. And that same year, who won the Royal Rumble? Oh, it was Roman Reigns in 2015, right as the Super Bowl was the Patriots and the Seahawks. And now look at this. Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble again as the Patriots and the Seahawks are in the Super Bowl. I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? I mean, it's repeating itself. 2015 is repeating itself. But remember, Charlie Kirk was shot 424 days after Donald Trump. And 424 is the gematria of Donald Trump in Hebrew. And in Hebrew, the coming Messiah, Messiah ben David, equals 424, the Jewish concept of the future Jewish king, a descendant of King David who will rule the Messianic age. Guys, I just did a decode the other day about the Messianic age. What are the odds, now that we know this connection between Trump and Charlie Kirk was 424 days, like Donald Trump's gematria, look how many days it was between Roman Reigns' first Royal Rumble and his second Royal Rumble, 424. Wow. That's Trump's number, man. That's the Messiah ben David's number. Also, when Roman Reigns lost his championship, he was 38 years, 10 months, 13 days old. That's kind of like the number 38,113, which is also the 4,024th prime number, which is the same amount of days between his two Royal Rumble wins. Again, this is Trump's number. He touched the wall at 424. 424 days between Trump and Kirk. This is so huge, guys. I just talked about this the other day. But remember, what did I talk about the other day? I talked about the death of the Home Alone actress who died 290 days before the first Home Alone movie came out. Donald Trump was born in Moon Lunation 290, and the full gematria of the movie Home Alone 2, The Lost in New York, where Trump appears in, was 290 months from that day till he became president for the first time. And in gematria, Christ, 290, Messianic age, 290. And how old is Drake May going to be on the Super Bowl? Again, if we go back to Drake May's birthday in 2002, 8/30, which again, remember, that's the same day that Roman Reigns began his reign. 8/30, 2002 to the Super Bowl, Drake May to the Super Bowl. How many moons is it? It's 290, folks. Coincidence? Absolutely not. Drake May was born in numerology of 60. 8 plus 30 plus 20 plus 2 is 60. He's going to be in Super Bowl 60. He's going to turn 290. Trump's born in 290. Okay. Home Alone came out 290 months before Trump became president, and Trump was in this movie. It was shot in his tower. And the gematria of the entire film, Home Alone 2 Lost in New York, equals 290. So again, I talked about this, a lot last thing, but just to recap how this Roman Reigns thing connected to the Jesus code that we've been talking about all month. Okay. Remember, the last day of Lunation 1275 is right before the horse year starts. My next decode will be covering the horse year again, because this is so important, guys. The horse year is so important. And yes, the dad of the actor in the movie Home Alone also died at 71. Kevin's father and mother, both the actress and actor, died at 71. So another coincidence, I'm sure. Thank you, Coffee Girl, for the flames. Please hit those likes if you thought the information was worth anything. Drake may miss practice with illness, huh? Is that a breaking story, or is that just happening? Wait a minute. Drake May's birth to 5-1 is 8645? Bro, that could be a big fine, right? But it's 2 days short of 8647. You guys remember when James Comey posted 8647 on 8647 days after 9/11? But if we go from Drake May's birth, again, we're talking about Drake May to May Day. It's 1 day off. If it was 1 day less, guys, it would be, if it was 1 day more, it would be 8647. So the next day, May 2nd, is 8647 days after Drake May was born. Huh. Guys, that's interesting. Yeah, and James Comey posted his 8647 thing on May 15th, like 5115. Wow, guys, that you guys are awesome, man. I would never have thought of that. Probably 8647 to 1 day after May Day. So that means James Comey. Let's see how old Drake May was when James Comey posted. So Drake May. I mean, I don't see anything really big there, but I think there has to be something to this May Day thing. Really has to be. Let's see how many days before Charlie Kirk's thing he posted that. Oh, yeah, it was 119 days. It's 119 days from James Comey's post to Charlie Kirk. Also, it was 3 months, 27 days. That's the death date of King James. Yeah, I don't know. I need to look more into this, but thank you for the thank you for sure for the that heads up about that 8647. Yeah, that Comey book was about 9/11, yeah. He posted 8647 8647 days after 9/11. Yeah, there's a bunch of earthquakes going on in, actually, let me pull that article up. Look at this. Earthquakes before Super Bowl 60. There's an article. Look at this. Earthquake rattles area near upcoming Super Bowl. Guys, interesting, right? I mean, again, every year we have like kind of clues that something could happen with the Super Bowl. But remember, in 1989, the year of the snake, there was an earthquake during the World Series. And here we are getting ready to finish the year of the snake. Are we going to get a earthquake during the Super Bowl? I mean, they're saying already there's earthquakes. Yeah, the Dr. Savage is saying about how the Mayday thing is all about the financial system. Yeah, definitely. But I mean, what is this, guys? I mean, is this a coincidence? You know, you're getting these earthquakes. It's been very active, I've heard. I mean, they haven't been big earthquakes, of course. What? How big of an earthquake was this? A 4.2, 25 miles from Levi's Stadium. A 4.2. Guys, the 42 is the beast. The beast reigns for 42. Wars 42. If you go to the Chaldean cipher, there's something really interesting about the number 42. I just want you guys to see this. If you type in the word Super Bowl, it equals 42. Okay? So you think that's a coincidence? I don't think so. Super Bowl 42, San Francisco 42, New England 42. What else is 42? So what are the odds? Super Bowl 42, New England 42, San Francisco 42. New England's playing in the Super Bowl in San Francisco. I talked about Ripple XRP yesterday, but Ripple XRP 42. So all those, right? Aaron Rodgers came from San Francisco area. He equals 42. He's one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Again, Super Bowl. Seattle Kraken equals 42. That's the team. Golden ratio. Tiger Woods 42. False Messiah 42. This is a huge number in Chaldean that I follow often. So that's why I'm bringing this up, because they said it was a 4.2 earthquake. And, you know, they're saying it's near San Francisco, which equals 42. It's right before the Super Bowl, which equals 42. And it's right before New England is in the Super Bowl, which equals 42. So I don't know. We'll just see what happens, but see if we get any more earthquakes. Either way, stay safe out there. People saying Bitcoin going to zero because Bitcoin's in the Epstein files. I mean, we will see what happens, but yeah, it's looking like there's an interesting. Yeah, that's a good connection. Back once again says 60 is the 42nd composite number. That's a great connection too. Levi's 501 connection. Who's got the Levi's 501 connection? Yeah, Levi's has a 501 gene, guys. 51. Levi's 501. That's your 51. Mayday. Mayday could be written 501. Yikes. Didn't somebody say that the Patriots can get like a 501 or something? Does anyone in the chat know this? Somebody had told me, somebody says it's 5:01 p.m. Really? It's 5:01 p.m. where you are? I think it just changed, but that's crazy. We were talking about this at 5:01 p.m. No way. Did I really bring that up at 5:01 p.m.? Are you kidding me? Did that really happen? It's not 5:01 where I'm at, but where you guys are. Oh my goodness. That had to have been at 5:01 because it's 11:02 here right now. So it was 5:01. That's absolutely crazy, man. Like that came to me right at 5:01, guys. That's what the heck? Like I read the comment at 5:01 and I put it up like right as ay ay ay. I don't know how to get the somebody need can somebody I don't know if anyone can screenshot that. I don't think I can screenshot it now because it's obviously not 5:01 anymore. But anyway, man, this whole stream, I was wondering what was up with the 51s when I first started the research, and now all the 51s and all 501s is all freaking me out now. The 501c3. Now you guys are really coming up with stuff in there. Five, yeah, we all love the 501c3, don't we? Well, thank you, Kimberly, for Kimberly was the one who said that right when I was on there. So thank you for telling me that. But you guys saw it live. You guys knew it was 5:01 because it's 5:04 now. So we know it was 5:01. But yeah, somebody's saying the 501c3 tax stuff, huh? Oh man. What is it? It says, dude, you speak times so often. I sometimes think you're reading the AI script. Yeah. Everything is really crazy in this reality, folks. It's not just the elites doing stuff. Trust me. This reality is really just absolutely wild, especially when you actually observe it. When you actually look at stuff, stuff gets crazy. But yeah, if anyone has any other 51 or 501 connections, please drop them in the comments after the video's over. Okay. But for now, we're gonna end this stream because the 501 is a good place to end, I think. Organic connection. It's a good place. Dr. Savage loves his organic, and you know that Sean, I haven't seen Sean for a while. I don't know where he is, but you know that the organic side is so much crazier, really, than anything that's going on in the. I like to decode both of those things. But yeah, I mean, Levi Strauss was established on 5-1. No. Okay, guys, you're not letting me leave, are you? No, no, it's not possible. It's possible. Oh my goodness. The Levi Strauss was founded on 5-1, folks. Are you joking me? Are you coding me? Okay, I gotta go now. I gotta go. This is too much now. I was wondering what was gonna happen with the 51s, and now we're just blowing it out of the water now. Guys, I might have to do a follow-up video on this because now that I found that Levi Strauss, the stadium is named Levi Stadium, folks. So this is explaining the 51s again. Let's just see what 51 equals in gematria just to before we end this. Because this is really a thing. 51 equals 100. Anyway, I think it's a good time to go. But thank you for all the great additions. just so you guys can remember why we started off with the 51. The Patriot games founded 51 days or years after the Patriots owner. And then again, go back and watch if you guys don't understand why. Yeah, everyone, we talked about the Levi's 501 jeans. Dr. Savage says in Jewish mystical literature, chapter 51 of the Likutei, I'm probably butchering that, discusses the divine life force, how it's garbed into many garments, concealment, how the Ein Sof animates. Interesting. All right, guys, have a good rest of your night out there. Thank you for all the 202 people who are still watching. And thank you for all the additional comments. Thank you to Dr. Savage. Thank you. Casey Jones in the chat as well. Shout out to him. Batman 51. Trump's always connected to Batman. Now someone's saying something else. NHL just played a pirate-themed outdoors game, Boston versus Tampa Bay. The score was 6-5. Played for Boston and Tampa. Boston have gold colors. They blew a 5-1 lead. This just happened? These are the two numbers I was talking about. 6-5 is June 5th, which connected all that. And then the 5-1. I'm trying to go here, but you guys are continuing to blow my mind. All right, have a good rest of your night, guys. Thank you so much. Please hit the like buttons on the way out. And yeah, if you want to support the channel, buy me a coffee link at the top. And I will see you guys very soon with another decode. God bless you all.